Hello, and thanks for joining us for the first of our Retail 360 mini webinar series during Retail Week. My name is Charlie Schreier. I work on the marketing team for Striver, and I want to welcome you as this episode we will be focusing on elevating the customer experience, which is really the crux of every retail company. On this topic, you probably have an AI or an automation strategy, but what we find over and over again is that people make the biggest difference in customer experience. Highly engaged, proficient, and confident employees really create the best customer experience. But it can be really hard to train these employees on all of the things that you need them to know and build those skills in an effective and quick way, especially when they turn over at such a high rate. Sometimes it feels like associates either have it or they don't. Today, we're going to talk about immersive learning, which is a new and innovative way to use virtual reality to actually train employees, retail associates specifically, in all of the things that they need to know in a more effective way. And immersive learning combines the presence of virtual reality with data science, spatial design, and advanced learning theory to really create the most effective training and engaging training possible. We're really excited to have Mike Colucci, an expert in immersive learning, especially in the retail space, as he's worked with Walmart for the past several years in developing really innovative VR training for them. So Mike, welcome. And if you could you shed a little bit of light on your experiences and maybe some of the things that our viewers could take away from what Walmart is doing with VR training?
Of course. Thank you, Charlie, for that intro. Just to add a little bit of color to that, I've been here at Striver for over 4 years now, specifically working with Walmart for 3 of those. And it's really been an incredible journey to watch them take VR from 30 Academy locations to now almost 5,000 store locations. And, it's been a great learning experience. We couldn't have had better partners doing that along the way. So I'm really happy to share some of what we've learned today with you all, and, really excited to keep working with them in general. So there are many different ways that we're using it, but 3 of the biggest things that we've tried to tackle so far in VR are change management around new initiatives at the store level. So when they're taking a new technology to chain, customer interactions has been a major focus for us. And then finally, teaching new skills or reinforcing old skills have been 3 of the big areas where we tried to focus on.
So from a change management and sort of an operational perspective within the stores, tell us a little bit about that and what it means and what it looked like on sort of Walmart's level.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a big challenge for all retail companies, but specifically at Walmart, some of the things that we've done has really been focused on when they're rolling out a new technology that customers will interact with, but the associates also need to assist with. How are those associates getting trained on that specific new piece of technology? So for example, Walmart rolled out something called a pickup tower. And the pickup tower is designed to make the customer experience quicker. So you can walk into a store, walk right up to that pickup tower, get the item that you need, and then be on your way out the door. So what we did was we took one of the first towers they ever installed. We took the VR camera out there and filmed in that environment. So the pickup tower was actually installed in a live store with real customers walking around. So we filmed all the training in that environment. So when you put on the headset, that's exactly what you see. You see the pickup tower in the front of the store with real employees, real customers walking around the store. There's a lot of noise, a lot of buzz that you would find in a typical store. And that's really what leads to the unbelievable experience, is really just that, oh my God, I'm here, I'm in the store, I'm on the floor interacting with this piece of technology. There's a little bit of pressure on you. You can tell that there's customers around the store. We've even simulated a customer waiting for their package. How do you handle this experience? We've really tried to recreate and replicate as close as possible to the real world. So when the associate is training, they really feel like they're experiencing it. So it's old hat by the time they go out onto the floor to actually put it into action. All of that, even though it's teaching on a new technology or on a new process, the more efficient and better that you can make that customer experience, the more impactful that will be for that customer down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And really that operational efficiency, I mean, people want things fast, right? And they want it to be easy. So that is a huge impact on the customer experience. So the other thing you mentioned was customer interactions. So what's an example of sort of a customer interaction training in virtual reality?
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time focusing on here. So for all retailers, they've been able to solve a lot of inefficiencies using AI or automation. But the one thing that all retailers continue to struggle with is really that interpersonal customer interaction with associates. And we've actually had pretty good success using VR as a method for training associates on how to interact with these customers on everything from and there are initiatives called Greet, Help, Thank, which is when a customer is coming near you, whether it's within 5 or 10 feet, you be sure to greet that customer with a warm, friendly smile, ask them if they need any help them if they do, and then always thank them for shopping at Walmart. And, little things like that sound, intuitive or obvious, but they're actually pretty unnatural, especially when you're focused on doing another job like stocking, like cleaning up the floor. So we've really spent a lot of time on that, training associates just to make sure that they're very customer centric. When a customer comes near you, that you are focusing on them. So we've done simple things like that, all the way up to specifically training on very complex issues like empathy and having empathy for each of the customers as they're coming into the store. You don't know if they've had a bad experience outside of Walmart. You can't control any of that. What you can control is their experience inside the store. So if you can walk up to that customer, even if they don't seem like they need help or if they want help, if you can, greet them with a warm smile and maybe just turn their day around, help them, or at least just seem friendly, you've done your part to contribute to their day. And typically a customer, even with all the negative stuff that may be happening in their life, will remember that nice interaction that they had with the associate at the store. And that goes a long way to, customer experience and revisiting a store. All of that leads to one thing, which is really building confidence for the associates on the floor. If your associate is confident in what they're doing and how to do it, it's really going to show, and the customers are going to appreciate it every single time they walk into the store. And then finally, one place where we've really focused on is customer safety and employee safety, and that all rolls into the customer experience as well. So whether it's identifying hazards on the floor, it could be a spill, could be an item that looks like it's about to fall, all of those types of things, we've really worked hard on with the associates to be able to identify and then know how to remedy that. So whether there's a spill, there's actually a proper technique for cleaning up that spill to ensure that it is properly cleaned and that no one will go in the area while that hazard is present. And, we've done that, as I said, for things from spills all the way up to emergency training. So whether there's a bad weather event, things like an active shooter, whatever it may be, we are working with the associates to make sure they're prepared, not only for the customer safety, but really for their safety as well. If they feel empowered and that they know how to handle themselves in this situation, that type of leadership that they would, exude would also be followed by the customers as well.
It's really interesting. I love the examples that you've used there. And I think, just as a wrap up around that, talking a little bit about the operational perspective, the customer empathy and interaction perspective, and then finally the safety and cleanliness perspective. Those three pillars of customer experience, just wow, they make a world of difference in the in-store experience for customers. And so using those, virtual reality to help practice and give repetition to those three pillars is really powerful. So if you could you shine a little bit of light on some of the results they're seeing, whether it's qualitative or quantitative? What are some of the results that have come out of using immersive learning to train employees?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, there's qualitative and there's quantitative. So I'll start with some of the qualitative feedback, which has just really been the anecdotes we've been getting from the store level. Associates love taking this training. They really feel like it's more engaging, more fun, and a more effective way to learn than the traditional 2D paper and pencil style, which they're used to. So they really enjoy getting in the headset, really feeling like they're out there on the floor, in the back room, whatever it may be, doing the actual work and really being productive. And the feedback has just been excellent. On the other hand, more quantitative, we have a lot of survey results from all the stores that really are representative of the people's, really being positive around VR, which we've really liked. They really feel like they're learning, as I mentioned, on the qualitative side. And then finally, I mentioned each store is measured upon cleanliness, how fast the experience is, and then also, and most importantly, friendliness. And while a lot goes into a good, friendly customer experience, more than just VR training, more than just greeting them, we do know that they've seen a positive impact there, and not just only because of VR, but because of many training initiatives. But we do know that they've seen that impact on those scores as well, which is very difficult to move the meter on. So we've been pretty proud of that success as well.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, from a customer satisfaction perspective, every retail organization out there is doing 10 or maybe 20 or 50 things to impact the customer experience. So if you know that one of the things is actually making an impact and really moving the needle, that's a great thing to have.
Quick anecdote that we heard from Walmart was customers giving the feedback that they felt like there was more associates in the store. And while that's not true, it's actually just because the associates feel more confident to engage those employees, those customers as they're walking through the store. So that was really cool to hear. So they actually feel like they're being helped by more and more people, but it's really just more confident associates, more willing and able to help the customers. And, there are many different things that they're doing to improve that friendly score, but it's cool to be a small part of that improvement that they've seen there.
So Mike, thanks so much for sharing all of your insights today. As we wrap up, I just want to talk about a little bit for our viewers today, just what makes us experts in this topic and why Striver is really a leader in immersive learning. And that's because the company was incubated in the Stanford University Virtual Human Interaction Lab in 2015, really experimenting with VR as a tool to train football players for game day. And with sports as that proving ground, we've moved into how immersive experiences and immersive technology could actually train the workforce and moving into the enterprise space. So today, leaders like Walmart and Verizon and Fidelity and BMW are working with us to introduce immersive learning for their workforce, which again is the groundbreaking approach combining virtual reality with advanced learning theory, data science, and spatial design for the most engaging and effective training out there. Striver offers the end-to-end solution, which includes software and professional services in order to deliver that in the most effective way for your organization. And we work with all of our partners in order to understand what their key business challenges are and how we can map learning outcomes to them. So Mike, thanks again so much for joining us today. We're going to wrap up and we hope you'll join us for our second in the mini webinar series. Thanks.